Justin Herbert is officially done for the year. Julio Urias domestic violence case goes to the LA County District Attorney, and MLS has to explain to LAFC and their supporters the definition of safe smoke. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is December 13th, 2023. I want to start off by apologizing for the delay in getting this clip out. For whatever reason, the camera wasn't working this morning. Had to run to the Apple store to solve it. We're good to go. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's one of the reasons I do this channel in the first place. Before we go through the news and notes, look at the scoreboard. LeBron James did his best last night. He scored 33 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, 9 assists. No matter. Dallas edged the Lakers 127-125. The Clippers, they're on a roll. Let's be real. I've been down on them for the James Harden trade, but they have been on a roll. They defeated Sacramento last night 119-99. But trouble may be on the horizon. Paul George injured his groin during the game and didn't return. We do not know the severity of the injury. We don't know yet. And by the way, as you know, we have a very strict don't go deep into men's groins policy here at Faithful Angeleno Sports. So we're just going to have to be patient and see what the doctors say. But groin injuries for athletes, for basketball players, oh, that's a problem. That could be a real thing. Meanwhile, today, the Lakers are at San Antonio at 5, and Winnipeg will be playing the Kings at 7:30 tonight. But let's get to the news. The Chargers have placed Justin Herbert on injured reserve due to that fractured index finger on his throwing hand. He was scheduled for surgery yesterday, but I don't see confirmation that they actually did go in and slice and dice. That's a problem for the Chargers because they're not officially eliminated mathematically from playoff contention. But I mean, this is, you're sitting there giving the Chargers CPR screaming, don't go to the lights. That's how close they are. And by the way, Herbert was their offense. They don't have a running game. Justin Herbert was their offense, trying desperately to find Keenan Allen. He passed for 1,134 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 picks only, and he was extremely durable. Remember, he fractured another finger earlier this year. It was the non-throwing hand. He was still able to gut it out. So his streak of 62 consecutive starts, which was the second longest in the league, is going to come to an end tomorrow night out in Vegas. He will be replaced by Easton Stick. And for his part, Stick is talking the talk for what it's worth. He says that he realizes there is a difference between playing quarterback for North Dakota State in the NFL, quote, but I'm used to winning, unquote. And to be fair, that's true. North Dakota State was 43-9 with Stick at quarterback. But let's also be real. You've seen a lot of losing this year with the Chargers. A lot of it. And now you're asking him to step in and take the place of a guy who's arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That's not exactly next man up mentality, guys. Now, I will tell you this. There is a plus for the Chargers. Wide receiver Joshua Palmer was activated from injured reserve yesterday, which means now it's possible over in Vegas that it's not just going to be trying to find Keenan Allen. He might now have another legit receiver to look for. Stick is going to need all the help he can get. But if you don't believe the Chargers are in trouble, let StubHub be your guide. Sunday afternoon, trying to find a ticket to the Chargers versus the Raiders, the tickets were way over $200. They have dropped over $100 since Herbert left that game. It's now close to like 120, probably lower. The police have finished their investigation into former Dodger pitcher Julio Urias, and they turned the case over to the LA County District Attorney. Urias was arrested outside of an LAFC match on suspicion of felony domestic violence. There is no timetable in terms of when the DA will decide to go forward with the case, or for that matter, if he decides to go forward with it at all. Presumably, Major League Baseball, they're running their own independent investigation. The presumption is that they're waiting to see what the LA County District Attorney does before deciding on any punishment. Now, to be clear, Urias has already been getting punished, right? The moment it was found out that he was arrested for this, the Dodgers were like, nah, you got to go. We're not cutting you. We can't cut you. But you're not pitching for us now. You have not heard a single rumor. All of these Dodger rumors that I've been putting up during the course of the offseason, you haven't seen one syllable about the Dodgers and what they want to do with Julio Urias other than to let him go. Which is crazy. I don't mean crazy bad, just crazy as in wow. Because Urias, he's a unicorn, guys. He is literally a domestic violence unicorn. I never thought I would see the day where we would talk about a domestic violence unicorn. Because this isn't the first time he has been suspended for violating the domestic violence policy. It's his second. That has never happened in the history of Major League Baseball. If a unicorn could look like Ike Turner, that would be what Julio Urias' career looks like right now. Because if he went into free agency, he could use the Dodgers as leverage with Scott Boras, and Boras would have easily gotten Urias a contract in excess of $200 million. Easily. I've yet to hear a single Julio Urias rumor, not just from the Dodgers, but from anyone in Major League Baseball on giving this guy a contract. I can't even believe some people just don't learn, guys. So we're just going to have to wait and see what the DA says. And by the way, I'm not saying Urias did it. I don't know. But you would think you would do whatever it took to avoid suspension for a second time, right? I would spend all of my time in a Catholic confessional if I thought that would keep me from being outside in public and possibly doing something to where I could get suspended a second time. As for the Dodgers pitching in the immediate future, Ken Rosenthal is reporting that LA is closing in on acquiring Tyler Glasnow from Tampa Bay. According to Rosenthal, if this deal goes down, the Dodgers would send at a minimum pitcher Ryan Pepio and outfielder Johnny LaDuca back. Now, Glasnow, who is 30, he had a 3.53 ERA last year. He is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. His salary is $25 million a year. And by the way, the Dodgers theoretically in this deal that Rosenthal is hyping would get outfielder Manuel Margot, presumably to be a platoon player. Giants president of baseball operations, Farhan Zaidi, said that they made a, quote, very comparable, if not identical, unquote, offer that the Dodgers made to Shohei Ohtani. Quote, we offered what would have been the biggest contract in Major League history, unquote. Translation, F the Giants. For real. Because Ohtani, if you take that information, it suggests to me that Ohtani wanted to stay in Southern California, got this record-breaking deal from San Francisco, then turned around to Andrew Friedman and said, can you match this? And Friedman said yes, and the rest is history. Just speculation, but I believe I'm right. We mentioned recently about the size of the cash that has been deferred as part of the Ohtani deal, by the way. $680 million deferred. And we were wondering aloud, is that even okay? Deferrals have been going on for decades, but that amount of money, is it okay? Well, according to Arizona Diamondbacks owner Ken Kendrick, it is. Quote, the Dodgers are not gaming the system, unquote. But what it apparently also does, and this is according to The Athletic, is that they are following a template that Chelsea uses in the Premier League. Yes, I mentioned soccer. International soccer. What Chelsea does is that they also go They found a workaround with Premier League salary cap rules, and they'll sign you to this really long contract with a ton of the money just deferred for later. And if you're wondering, yes, Dodgers owner Todd Boehly is also the primary owner of Chelsea in the Premier League. So they were just following the template. I keep pointing at the list of players that Dodgers are allegedly interested in. We can now cross off Seth Lugo from that list. Lugo signed with Kansas City. We had 38 players on that list. Now it's down to 31. And if you noticed, how many players did the scribes actually get right with all their rumors so far? 2. Gotta love them rumor mongers. For reasons that I do not comprehend, MLS had to explain why it fined LAFC and sanctioned the supporter group collective, known as the 3252, for lighting flares during the Western Conference Final against Houston on December 2nd. Hell, did the league even went so far as to grant the 3252 a quote-unquote safe smoke exemption before the match? This is according to The Athletic. Said, okay, you could do some types of flares, not flares, I'm sorry. You could do some types of things that smoke, but you can't do flares. And they went ahead and they did flares anyway. Would you care to know why flares are not a good idea? Because according to a cop, flares burn at 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're standing in shoulder to shoulder on a freestanding section that's jam-packed, standing room only, and you're holding a blowtorch in your hand, and now you have the gall to ask why that's a problem, guys? Not only that, not only the fact that you could have lit everybody around you in flames, not only the fact that you could have burned your friends beyond all recognition, you blanketed the pitch and turf, which, by the way, meant the game had to be delayed. You don't think the Fox Network and Apple TV were on the phone with MLS saying, what the hell are you guys doing? Of course they were. TV money talks way more than your love for the black and gold, guys. You've got to get that through your heads. But if you guys want to set yourselves on fire, who am I? Who am I? The Rams have decided to stick with Lucas Havrisik at kicker. They have released Mason Crosby, the longtime Packers kicker, who they signed last week. And by the way, also in terms of the NFL, there's going to be a vote today as to whether or not to bring the Super Bowl back to SoFi Stadium in 2027. Got one more thing on my mind. Yes, I am aware that LeBron James did, in fact, get to USC in time to see his son, Bronny, play for the Trojans on Sunday. I am also aware that LeBron James sat during the national anthem. I don't care. I just don't care. Look, I am an old school patriot, okay? I believe in things like waving the American flag. I do enjoy fireworks on a 4th of July. I believe that this country is the best on the planet. Legit. I really believe that. But I also believe that your vote is your vote. Just because I believe this country is the greatest of all time doesn't mean I'm going to tell you how to vote. Too old for that. I don't care if you vote for Biden. I don't care if you vote for Trump. Your vote is your currency. I don't believe I should tell you how to vote any more than I should tell you how to spend your money. And I also believe, though, that we should respect the people who paved the road for this country to be as good as it is. Not just in terms of the military, but in terms of civil rights leaders. And I also understand that LeBron is divisive. But I believe in a country that is strong enough to withstand somebody sitting during the national anthem. I don't get that bent out of shape over it. I sing the national anthem. I'm very happy to do that. But if LeBron James has a seat, I'm not going to think it's the end of the world either. So I don't really have a strong opinion about it, guys. If you do, you let me know. You let me know what you think about any of this in the comments thread. Talk to me about all these Dodger updates over the last 24 hours. Talk to me about if the Chargers have hope without Justin Herbert. And if you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Corte El Queso production. Take care.